2023 is a pretty strong lineup of highly anticipated games coming out. When it comes to winning Game of the Year, it's a pretty big toss-up between a lot of these massive AAA titles. In comparison to last year, which was pretty split between two massive behemoths of games, God of War and Elden Ring, this year seems to have a lot more titles that won't fall to the side so easily. Here are a couple predictions going into this year. Skipping all of the most anticipated lists, I think the games with the highest chance to win something that are currently confirmed to come out this year are these. I'm going to scratch out Hogwarts Legacy off the bat because I think the surrounding controversies, while maybe helping its exposure, won't win Game of the Year as it's an open vote. Spider-Man seems like it has everything a winning game should have, but I feel like it being limited to the PS5 is what's going to stop it from really taking the title. Although God of War was close, so maybe it has a chance. The remakes coming out this year look very promising for the longevity of the survival horror genre, but as much as it hurts to say, survival horror is beginning to become a smaller category in the gaming scene. Compared to some of the other games on this list, I don't think either have a shot. Assassin's Creed as a series seems so fatigued and drawn out. While they still have managed to get some success in the past couple years, I don't think it'll be doing anything new to deserve any awards this year. Star Wars Survivor might be, in my opinion, one of the best games on this list. Its previous game did so many things right and proved that EA has a lot of potential to still make single-player experiences. I'm pretty hopeful for the game's launch, but I don't think enough people care about the first game to merit buying the second or even vote for it over some of the titles still listed. It's going to be good, but probably not good enough. Silksong being announced 4 years ago has only built hype since then. Hollow Knight was a phenomenal game, both artistically and gameplay-wise, so I think it has a pretty good chance. On the topic of games being announced forever ago, I think most people were surprised with Dead Island 2 finally coming out of the shadows. With its announcement nearly a decade ago and the initial success of the first game, there's plenty of reason to believe the gaming community will be hyped over this game. It has a pretty strong place on the roster, but I have a feeling the gaming sphere isn't built for a zombie game being number one anymore. The Lies of P is such a funny concept to me. Bloodborne but Pinocchio has got to be one of the most interesting concepts on this list. The gameplay looks tight, and the direction is different enough to be talked about. Somehow, I don't think a Souls-like is going to beat From Software for Game of the Year. While all of these very well may win, I'm betting it's going to be between these four. From Software is on a roll right now, and as the fanboy that I am, I really hope they win. Diablo 4 has a lot of potential. I think the mobile game L the IP took before is going to stunt its hype, but I don't know if it'll be enough to affect it too heavily. People have been waiting for a real Bethesda game for so long, and Starfield is finally it. They've never been able to impress on the technical side, but the ambition usually is seen well enough to make a game great. Starfield looks very ambitious and very technical. It's going to be the most Bethesda game yet, and it might be a good thing. And that just leaves Breath of the Wild. Limited to the Switch, it faces both the technical boundaries and the limitation of being on one system. However, the first game was so influential and impacted the industry so heavily, also winning Game of the Year. It's aged super well, but the first game isn't without its problems. If they can manage to pull off making the first game but better, I think it'll easily win. Whether I'm right or wrong, 2023 has a lot of potential to be a great year for gaming. I'm going to probably look back and laugh at these predictions.